Welcome, welcome. Good to see everyone again. We're glad to have you join us today for Seniors on the Move. Boy, the technology is amazing, but we are bringing our guest today from way out in Santa Clarita Valley, and Gene Dario, Dr. Gene Dario, is a geriatric physician. He does house calls. This is the third doctor that we've had that's talking about house calls. This must be the way of the future. I know Dr. Dorio from our relationship on the LA County Commission for Older Adults. So without further ado, Gene, are you there?
I sure am.
Oh my goodness, so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes. So I'm going to sort of defer to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I've read your bio. Hey, you have an Inglewood connection, don't you?
Well, I do, because I grew up in Los Angeles, just a little bit north of Inglewood. La Brea and Washington Boulevards is where my neighborhood was for all the way through high school. And I went to and graduated from Los Angeles High, and I then went on to Occidental College, which is also in Los Angeles, and then got a master's degree, got my medical degree, and then completed my residency training at UC Irvine, moving then up to Santa Clarita about 33 years ago. So you're right. You're right, LaVada. House calls should be doing in the future for all our seniors, and all our seniors should have that ability to get a house call, because that will keep them in their home. But we're unfortunately not focused on that these days, are we?
No, we are.
you and I both know that too often our older adults are shipped off to skilled nursing facilities. It's a sophisticated name, SNFs, instead of calling them nursing homes. And so that's our big dilemma that we face right now with the pandemic taking place. And you and I are on the LA County Commission for Older Adults, and we attempt to look at these problems and see what is it that we can do for those individuals who are facing this situation.
Well, what do you feel are the most difficult problems for older adults during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, easily to me, the lack of having visitation to hospitals and nursing homes astounds me now at this point. If you're going to open up schools and businesses, let us open up the hospitals and nursing homes also. The other thing, of course, is that we're fearful that we're going to end up getting this virus. So we remain in isolation and away from as many people as we can. But with that isolation comes loneliness, depression. And if you're not set up in the technologic age of 2020, you're gonna have problems with trying to negotiate yourself through this. This is not easy for any of us. So I think those are the two main problems that I can think of right now that older adults are definitely facing. And I watch the news and I watch the press conferences, and I see the politicians talk about different aspects of this pandemic, but this other part of losing a friend and not being able to see them, and for them not being able to have someone hold their hand, to me, that's incredibly inhumane. So we need to figure out a way, LaVada, but it is something that we do have to bring forward and make sure that this difficulty that many of our seniors being admitted to the hospitals and now face, we can take care of it. But until we have appropriate treatment and vaccines, people are going to be afraid. But I just have to let our seniors know that have to be able to communicate with everybody around you, your family members, even your doctors, the best you can, because you can't let your health go by the wayside and not get the virus, but yet have something else erupt and create a problem in your life that puts you on your back again and threatens that you're going to end up in the hospital also.
That brings us to telemedicine. I have an appointment on Friday to see my healthcare provider for a telemedicine visitation. What is your opinion of those? Are they worth doing? What do you think about those?
I think they're great. I think being able to use the technology that we have is superb, that everybody should take advantage of, especially those who have mobility problems. But there are some drawbacks to not for physicians, or PAs or NPs not to see the patient. And I rely about 80% on asking questions and getting an idea about what's going on with the patient, but about 20% of it, the rest of it comes from the physical exam. And being able to listen to one's lungs, the heart, and doing testing that might be pertinent to a problem that's developing, that is lost. So you're still, no matter what, losing out on the physical exam side. But, that for the moment, LaVada, that has to do. That has to be a part of it, because I think most doctors, when they realize, gee whiz, I need to listen to the patient's heart or their neck or do a neurologic exam on them, most doctors will say, nah, somebody has to see you. You hope that your physician will think of those things other than saying, yeah, you're fine, when in reality, something could be missed. So things could be missed. You just have to be more careful. And I think doctors and patients being aware of the limitations will help telemedicine serve patients better.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to having my exam on Friday. And I've been lucky to have a very good healthcare provider. So I know Dr. Blake, if he sees something or hears me say something to him that seems out of order, will set me up to come in to see him. But I think that's a good intermediate. It will make me feel better to have an opportunity to discuss my concerns with him. Now, okay, back to COVID-19 vaccinations. Should I get one or should I not?
Well, unfortunately, this vaccine has been politicized. I know there are vaccines around the world, and we are working on one here, and it has been expedited. But I'm a scientist, and I look at the vaccine and I go, I want to see the data. I was just reading one of my journals about the different testing available that we have, and how accurate that testing is, how sensitive and specific it is. And there's a lot of data out on it, which is great. Will the data be available to us before the vaccine is put out to the public? And I don't know the answer to that. I feel that I have to rely on my colleagues who are who are out there looking at the data as carefully as possible. So there are people in life that I think we have to trust sometimes, who will give us an idea about the good parts about the vaccine, the good data that is there, the worthiness of getting a shot versus the risks that we might be taking and the side effects of those vaccines that could be detrimental. Some of this is definitely being rushed, and you have to be careful. Why get a vaccine if it's only effective 30% of the time? That makes no sense. And I want to be able to figure out if I get a vaccine, is it being effective? And I've been trying to find the data. Do we get antibody testing, things like that on, and what is the numbers? What are the numbers going to show? So I'm waiting. I'll wait for some of the people I trust to give me an idea. And I think at this point, being aware and being careful, listening to the people that you choose to decide that you feel that they're going to give you good advice. And, at some point, those who are out there who are looking at this, who I trust, I'll be looking to them to give me the advice I need for myself, my family, and my patients as well.
That sounds like excellent advice because I'm like you, Gene. I don't want to jump off into doing something that hasn't been really tested, and be the guinea pigs, come up with some side effect. Yeah. Now, as we go through this pandemic and looking forward, what should we focus on to make sure that seniors get the appropriate care?
Well, and telemedicine is a piece of that, and that's definitely should be in the forefront. We need to assure that they have their medicines and can afford it. We need to make sure that they're not food insecure. We need to make sure that any preventive treatments that they might have are adequate, like getting colonoscopies or stress tests as well. And we need to make sure that people get their laboratory testing, cholesterol testing done as well. Ultimately, LaVada, you and I both know that where we should be heading in 2020 and 2022 and 2025, we should be heading to an arena where older adults do not face nursing homes and going to nursing homes. They are allowed to age in place in their own home, and we have to figure out how are we going to do that. And I feel that we can do that not easily, but with the creative ingenuity that we have in this country, we can start developing a system of caregivers, of robots, of assuring that that we can do as a doctor doing house calls, that we can keep people in their home. We should be looking to the future after the pandemic about aging in place and about doing the things we need to do to get back on track and allow people to live a good life with their safety nets, having their glasses, dental work, hearing aids, things like that. So their quality of life is definitely adequate. Are we going to be able to do that? LaVada, if we have a big mouth, we will. And so you have a big mouth, I have a big mouth. We are advocates for seniors. And we just have to get LaVada people motivated to be able to say, this is the right thing to do for ourselves in the future and our loved ones right now who are older adults. And I think it's an abomination when you have 43% of those who have passed away in Los Angeles County passing away in skilled nursing facilities and nursing homes. That's an abomination, and that should never happen. And you have to ask the question why. And I go to nursing homes. I see patients there, and I already know the weaknesses and the problems that our seniors have there. They have to change.
So, Gene, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I know our viewing audience has learned a lot from you relative to the future of care for seniors and the importance of us taking care of ourselves during this pandemic time as well. So thank you so much. But you know,
You're
Jen,
welcome.
yes, I hear that little bell that says it's time for a senior moment. So I have something to share. There you go. Hold on a minute. I'm going to share with you. This story comes from one of my friends, Miss Deb. It says a group of alumni, highly established in their careers, got together to visit their old university professor. The conversation soon turned into complaints about stress in work and life. Offering his guests coffee, the professor went to the kitchen and returned with a large pot of coffee and an assortment of cups: porcelain, plastic, glass, crystal, some plain looking, some expensive, some exquisite. He told them to help themselves to the coffee. After all the students had a cup of coffee in hand, the professor said, if you notice, all the nice looking, expensive cups were taken, leaving behind the plain and cheap ones. While it is normal for you to want only the best for yourselves, that is the source of your problems and stress. Be assured that the cup itself adds no quality to the coffee. In most cases, it's just more expensive, and in some cases, even hides what we drink. What all of you really wanted was coffee, not the cup. But you conscientiously went for the best cups and then began eyeing each other's cups. Now consider this. Life is the coffee, and the jobs, houses, cars, things, money, and position in society are the cups. They are just tools to hold and contain life. And the type of cup we have does not define nor change the quality of life we live. Sometimes, by concentrating only on the cup, we fail to enjoy the coffee God has provided us. God brews the coffee, not the cups. Enjoy your coffee. Being happy doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you've decided to see beyond the imperfections, live simply, love generously, care deeply, speak kindly, leave the rest to God. So, in parting, I say peace and love. Until the next time.